Today we're in Deuteronomy chapter 15 and 16, and Deuteronomy 15 starts off. There are a lot of several special numbers in the Bible. Some numbers have special meaning. 40 comes up a lot of times. The number 7 comes up a lot of times. And this is where Deuteronomy opens up with this thing about 7 years and this thing that God has put together. And it's pretty interesting. So let's start off with that. At the end of every 7 years, you must tell those who owe you anything that they do not have to pay you back. This is how you must do it. Everyone who has loaned money must cancel the loan and not make a neighbor or relative pay it back. This is the Lord's time for canceling what people owe. You may make a foreigner pay what is owed to you, but you must not collect what another Israelite owes you. But there should be no poor people among you, because the Lord your God will richly bless you in the land he is giving you as your own. He will bless you if you obey the Lord your God completely. But you must be careful to obey all the commands I am giving you today. The Lord your God will bless you as he promised, and you will lend to other nations, but you will not need to borrow from them. You will rule over many nations, but none will rule over you. If there are poor among you in one of the towns of the land the Lord your God is giving you, do not be selfish or greedy toward them, but give freely to them and freely lend them whatever they need. Beware of evil thoughts. Don't think the 7th year is near, the year to cancel what people owe. You might be mean to the needy and not give them anything. Then they will complain to the Lord about you, and he will find you guilty of sin. Give freely to the poor person, and do not wish that you didn't have to give. The Lord your God will bless your work and everything you touch. There will always be poor people in the land. So I command you to give freely to your neighbors and to the poor and needy in your land. If one of your own people sells himself to you as a slave, whether it is a Hebrew woman or a man, that person will serve you for 6 years. But in the 7th year, you must let the slave go free. When you let slaves go, don't send them away without anything. Give them some of your flock, your grain, and your wine, giving to them as the Lord has given to you. Remember that you were slaves in Egypt, and the Lord your God saved you. That is why I'm commanding you this today. But if your slave says to you, I don't want to leave you, because he loves you and your family and has a good life with you, stick an awl through his ear into the door. He will be your slave for life. Also, do this to a female slave. Do not think of it as a hard thing when you let your slaves go free. After all, they served you 6 years and did twice the work of a hired person. The Lord your God will bless you in everything that you do. Save all the first male animals born to your herds and flocks. They are for the Lord your God. Do not work the first calf born to your oxen, and do not cut off the wool from the first lamb born to your sheep. Each year, you and your family are to eat these animals in the presence of the Lord your God, in the place he will choose to be worshipped. If an animal is crippled or blind or has something else wrong, do not sacrifice it to the Lord your God. But you may eat that animal in your own town. Both clean and unclean people may eat it, as they would eat a gazelle or a deer. But don't eat its blood. Pour it out on the ground like water. Celebrate the Passover of the Lord your God during the month of Abib, because it was during Abib that he brought you out of Egypt at night. As a sacrifice for this Passover to the Lord your God, offer an animal from your flock or herd at the place the Lord will choose to be worshipped. Do not eat it with bread made with yeast, but for 7 days eat bread made without yeast, the bread of suffering, because you left Egypt in a hurry. So all your life you will remember the time you left Egypt. There must be no yeast anywhere in your land for 7 days. Offer the sacrifice on the evening of the first day and eat all of the meat before morning. Do not leave it overnight. Do not Offer the Passover sacrifice in just any town the Lord your God gives you, but offer it in a place he will choose to be worshipped. Offer it in the evening as the sun goes down, which is when you left Egypt. Roast the meat and eat it at the place the Lord your God will choose. The next morning, go back to your tents. Eat bread made without yeast for 6 days. On the seventh day, have a special meeting for the Lord your God, and do not work that day. Count 7 weeks from the time you begin to harvest the grain, and then celebrate the Feast of Weeks for the Lord your God. Bring an offering as a special gift to him, giving to him just as he has blessed you. Rejoice before the Lord your God at the place he will choose to be worshipped. Everybody should rejoice. Your sons and your daughters, your male and female servants, the Levites in your town, the strangers, orphans, and widows living among you. Remember, you were slaves in Egypt, and carefully obey all these laws. Celebrate the Feast of Shelters for 7 days, after you have gathered your harvest from the threshing floor and winepress. Everybody should rejoice at your feast. You, your sons and daughters, your male and female servants, the Levites, strangers, orphans, and widows who live in your towns. Celebrate the feast to the Lord your God for 7 days at the place he will choose. Because the Lord your God will bless all your harvest and all the work you do, you will be completely happy. All your men must come before the Lord 3 times a year to the place he will choose. They will come at these times: the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the Feast of Weeks, and the Feast of Shelters. No man should come before the Lord without a gift. Each of you must bring a gift that will show how much the Lord your God has blessed you. Appoint judges and officers for your tribes in every town the Lord your God is giving you. They must judge the people fairly. Do not judge unfairly and take sides. Do not let people pay you to make wrong decisions, because that kind of payment makes wise people seem blind, and it changes the words of good people. Always do what is right, so that you will live and always have the land the Lord your God is giving you. Do not set up wooden Asherah idol next to the altar you build for the Lord your God, and do not set up holy stone pillars. The Lord your God hates them. So again, we see Moses um, given those final instructions. And obviously, because we've read this multiple times, Moses talks about the Passover and how important it is, and that they remember that and they follow the guidelines set forth for Passover. For us, we can't forget about the sacrifice that Jesus made. We have to remember, and we do that with communion every Sunday at church. There's just some things that are too important for us to let those go to the side. That's it for today. Have a great day.